Oh, forgot to change the... Great. Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... No, just scroll back down again. Here it is. Guess what? We're in 1080p now. And if you don't know the difference, you will. The internet connection gets worse. So apparently StreamYard has updated a few things, and so basically they've have different packages and they include different things in there. So now my package for StreamYard includes 1080p, so that's back, I suppose. Hopefully the internet issues won't return along with it, but it did warn me, oh, you need a solid internet connection, which I'm pretty sure I do have here. I don't think I've had any issues as of being in this location, so yeah, we'll see. Also, I noticed that whenever you press live now, it gets rid of the comments that were on your stream before you press live, because there was some comments I was going to address from Ghost Kitty particularly. Talking about things like the thumbnail, for example, and how it doesn't really suit the pops. Yeah, I kind of just fuse them because I saw the Terratus was at the top and the Aquavia at the bottom, so I thought, okay, fusion time. But yeah, apart from that, also something about how can they breathe underwater. A reminder: the blue spots have been to the moon twice, but also they've been to space once. Was the moon? I think. But Majesty did cover that in a previous episode where she said that she would cast a breathing spell on them. And yes, the actual source material pops have definitely been able to breathe underwater. I just realized I think this just warps a little bit. That door is not so it's not so convex usually. I think that's the difference, maybe. I don't know. But yes, we're back with more mermaids today, because what's better than one mermaid gacha review video? Two mermaid gacha reviews videos. What's better than two mermaid gacha reviews videos? Two mermaid gacha reviews videos that I actually remember to monetize this time, because I realized that I had wanted to turn off for one of the only reviews that I've done this week, so that's fantastic. Oh well. I open up a new bank account here in Spain now. It's like, I've got nothing to put in it. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't get it. I have the old one for that. Whatever. So yes, mermaid power indeed. I was also going to make a joke out of the fact that the aquatic pop in Pretty Cure and the elemental pop series that Ghost Kid is doing is called Sailor, but then Ghost Kid explained that Sailor's a different thing, so probably Sailor, but it's not like Sailor thought, Sailor water. Oh well. I just watched a sea shanty clip and sent it to Bonds. That's in my head, probably. Oh well. It'll be for them leaving me to a gacha review intro. Was that when we just met you, or I honestly don't really remember. And yeah, fisheye lens fitting with a theme. Honestly, you're correct. And they call them more than you think. They're both about moments, but both are notorious for tell don't show. Yes. But also, if I recall correctly, Eli said last time that the episode we're about to watch right now, the Terratus one, or the Terratus one, I forgot the pronunciation, is her favorite of. I don't know if it was this batch or the entire season of Blues Pops, but it's one of the two. So we're probably in for something good, followed up by something that's not quite as good, but still pretty okay. So, I know I say that at the beginning of almost every one of these, and I always end up having my optimism shot back in my face, but for now, we're going to roll with it. So, I guess without further ado, on with the review. Everyone, wait, hold on. I don't know. Anyway, no guests for today, unfortunately. I guess people are tired of mermaids. I wonder why. Oh, was like having an obsession. It was like, this is Terratus, yeah. I did a good thing for Critical Elemental. I went back to the old review for it, when Maddie owned it, and took a note for the criticism and working on fixing them. Fantastic! You know something, actually, there are people who've remade mostly their own stuff that have taken, like, the Gacha review criticisms of the original material and have, like, implemented it into the future ones. Then there is Johnny, who just kind of, like, went in a completely opposite direction and ended up with something that was worse in some ways, but most of the time, that's what happens, so good for that. And actually, I will add something to this and just give Bon a bingo for mentioning my own series now. Weather Pops, I'm doing more or less the same thing. I knew that there was material that was already made by Midnight Unknown, or Khadija, I don't know which one she prefers to go by, but she left like a bunch of like not only just the character descriptions, because that's what kind of drew me in, like the general like synopsis and premise and all that stuff, but also a fully made episode 1, which I'm not keeping entirely. I'm retaining like as much as I think I can, because the thing is, in that original script, there's a lot of stuff I can't like capture the same like mean-spirited energy that was in there, because every character seemed to have, you know, seem to use a bit of a vulgar phrase, a stick where the sun don't shine, and I couldn't keep that up for an entire series. So definitely I've made some changes, but I have honestly like taken some of the things like word for word dialogue wise, or some like, you know, some of the characters and I guess a few of the settings. But yeah, So yeah, it is good to do that, I guess, because, you know, I'm making an adaptation too, ultimately speaking, even though the original version never got to exist. In fact, it's because it never got to exist I'm making the adaptation in the first place. So yeah, there you go. I need to finish them. Yes. I'm sure you're correct. Anyway, yeah, the puns are crazy. Yep, they certainly are. It doesn't have me hooked yet. You better not wind me up. Well, let's see how they deal with it. Without further ado, wait, we already did the intro. Never mind. Continue. Still got the feather snap. Oh no, it snapped. Imagine. It's just like in multiple pieces inside the bag. Yep, still there. I was just gonna like pull it out for a second just to remind the audience, but okay, fair enough. Oh, baby triple, we're in for a whale of a time. Oh, good lord. Hopefully the people in Terratus know we're the real Blues Pops. Yeah, people don't remember last episode, there was a very skeptical character that put him through like some... I was gonna say trials, not really trials, but more just like, you know, demonstrate you are who you say you are type of thing. So, you know, it wasn't the most elaborate of challenges for them, but it also wasn't nothing. It wasn't just like they showed up there and was like, yep, sure, take the thing. So yeah. Also, yes, I did use C specifically. Yeah. Oh well. Let's see. I didn't see it. Oh well, at least you tied. We haven't even got to like the Aquavia episode. We should be saving these. Anyway, we could have been stuck in Silurium forever because Kalani didn't think we were real. You know, it just occurred to me, like, when I was watching that episode back, that honestly, maybe they should have like sent, I don't know, like an emissary or somebody just to keep an eye on them, or possibly hold onto the feather until the moment. Kind of similar to what happened in Dragon Ball, actually, where the reason that Goku even like leaves Mount Pausa to begin with is because he doesn't want to part with his grandfather's 4-star ball. He wants to keep a hold of it, but he will lend it to Bulma when she's collected all of the others, you know, the remaining 4 that she needs. So that could lead to something, to some interesting interactions, but you never know. What are you talking about, Jacob? Just like you can't hold in lyrics, I can't hold in puns. Yeah, fair enough. I won't make you salty and force you to do that. This joke had me ocean floored. Like an old man says, I haven't done a pun yet. Okay. Well, give it time. You'll think of one. Well, at least we are out now and have the golden feather. True, but now let's go in and get the next item from our journey. We're just saying go in, but you're still kind of like outside, aren't you? I mean, no, is this like into the forest thicket itself? Maybe? I don't know. We're cruising so far. You don't want to make too many cruise jokes around the blues pops, Eli. I don't know about that. I just used salty. Anyway. And I also used Tide before. Anyway. Well, I guess it was bound to happen at some point. Sorry to interrupt, but is this Terratus? I thought like they're different realms, right? So like that's the name of the realm. I feel like you should know what realm you were sent in this direction, right? Yes, this is Terratus. I don't know why the font is different, but I'm. Oh wait. Okay. I'm gonna do that. Okay.
Yes, this is Terratus. They call me Treebeard.
You must be the blues, Pops. Yes, we are.
Splendid. How was Salorium?
A bit tough, but we got the golden feather. Luckily, the only time I travelled over an ocean was when I flew to Australia. I guess much like the cruise the Blues Pops were on, you too went down under. We had to be tested to make sure we were the real Blues Pops.
We cannot find the Entwives. Oh look, there's one.
Yeah, in this particular instance, they can find the Entwives. Normally, they could not. I understand that. Okay, this is in reference to the Down Under joke, just for the record, in case any VOD watchers need the context. I made some very unhinged jokes recently on Gacha Review. It started with the whole, like, Cyril being squashed thing. Okay. The Blues got COVID tested. What? I don't know if it's quite that. I would say more of a DNA test, but okay. I'm in a similar situation to the Blues Pops that we're not finding magical artifacts. My choir is going and we're performing. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Honestly, you know what? You know what should happen? At some point we need like a world tour type of thing with the Pops. I'm not sure if it should be like a full crossover, although if Johnny's involved, probably that would be the case. But just like one of the pop groups or multiple, just having like a tour performing some of their like, you know, their known songs or whatever. I don't know. I would say out a retirement party for the ballet Pops, but I know you're working on something for them, so probably not. Anyway. And technically, I am a pop. That is true. That is also true. Yeah. I'm guessing that none of your like choir members inspired any of the characters. Oh well. I'm thinking of. Okay. All right, fine. If you're thinking of that, then sure, why not? Oh my goodness. Dude, Ebony Pop, hello. Yeah, we've got two Pops in the chat right now. We've got Tree Pop and Ebony Pop. There you go. Oh my goodness, I feel like Harmony Sparkles. I'm followed by all the Pops. Not on TikTok, but you know. That seems like Kalani.
Anyway, shall we introduce ourselves?
Sure. I'm Forrest. And I'm Gump. Can you imagine? I don't even want to know the character's name now. I just want to call her Gump. That's... See, when I don't have guests on the stream, I just make myself laugh hysterically. That's just the trade-off. Anyway, I guess there's 3 if you count as true. I don't want to be a part. I just engraved it as my birth certificate. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she charmed the record office in the way that she is known to do. I've been before stream or something. Well, not dinner, but I did have lunch. I don't know, like only a couple of hours ago. So you know, I had a late lunch. Maybe that's maybe this is late lunch, Jacob. Not really sure.
This is my wife, Gump. That's her name. I don't care what it says there.
Another part because my sister's in the choir. Oh, okay. All right. There we go. All right. And she just made herself a pop persona. Oh, okay. Is that going to be part of like any series or just like for the sake of it, you know? And no, I didn't see that. I didn't you know. I'm still playing catch up as far as your channel's concerned. I mean, obviously here we are, so, you know. Oh well.
We are the rulers in Terratus.
Make a group called the Hip Hop Pops. I mean, similar to Rap Pops, but I guess ultimately if you go the dance route, I suppose that's you know, that makes it different. Fair enough. I do like the I do like the length of the name as well. Hip Hop Pops has a really nice ring to it, actually. Also, by the way, Treat Pop, I also saw that the first episode of British Pops came out. I'm not sure if I'll end up doing like a review of it on its own or wait till the next episode comes out because it is like a bit short on the short end, but we'll see. We'll see. Actually, wait a minute, it's one of your videos, there's probably a lot to say about it, so oh wait, no, your videos are the ones I don't tend to talk much about. Yeah, I might wait for a second one in order to start that, but I did see it. Anyway. You started making an episode. Ooh, okay. I should have a channel, so I'll be the one uploading it. You know what? That is fair. You know, people often ignore the YouTube terms of service as far as age limits on channels, but well, there's that's practical, I suppose. Kind of reminds me of the team up that Demari Dropkick TV and Brenjitsu TV did for Adam Co Purple, except I imagine this will be a lot better by virtue of not being Adam Co Purple. Anyway. The villain is Default Boy. Okay. Interesting decision. I mean, you already had my curiosity to begin with, but now I really want to see this. Oh my goodness. He sits and zooms around and possesses people, all while smiling. That kind of sounds like that kind of sounds a bit like a Roblox creepypasta. Oh wait, that's what I was gonna say as well. One of the comments that that Ghost Kitty was talking about was that one of the characters apparently was going to be like a therapist that was called like Thera, but and I was going to say that actually there was a character that Leon Tarkshina invented called well, actually, okay, I say that he invented her called Thera, which was spelled the same way but just pronounced differently. But technically speaking, actually this was for his show, The Durhamist, which I think is back online. I think he took it down for a little bit, but it's like a very old Roblox series that I was going to be a part of, and I kind of ruined things for a bit because I actually suggested that I did what people were trying to do to me when I started Mutant Girl, and I actually suggested that the fourth episode would be made in Minecraft. So I came up with like a whole different character who would eventually leave the world of Minecraft and then go into it. The reason I did that is because the Durhamist is supposed to have the ability to break into games, so that would make more sense to have like a multimedia thing. And Leon seemed to like the idea at the time. but he made like a whole Destiny thing where the character that I came up with was actually her real name was Thera, and that was the way to like tie that in. So I was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. So, but unfortunately, that was the episode that we never actually got round to doing. I remember he came round to my house at one point to discuss ideas about it, but we never, because at the time I didn't know how to use Hamachi or anything, so I had to like use like a land mod or something. But unfortunately, because we spent all the time like building the sets, we ran out of time and then never actually continued it. Not that I would have had the editing skills to probably pull that off anyway. Thinking back to it, I could definitely do it now, but yeah, this was like basically 10 years ago. So yeah, definitely way too ambitious for the time. About how ugly Freddy Krueger was. I mean, yeah, the Dharmas was kind of like a Freddy Krueger set in the sense of breaking into places instead of dreams. It was games. He was kind of trapped in Roblox for a bit. But yeah, never continued. I also suggested I urged him to include voice acting because the way that the typical like Roblox chat would take forever and it was all like one take and it wasn't edited, so you saw like the person chatting at the same time. And so I thought like having the voice would be way better. And you know, again, I've gone back on that as well now because now I tell people you don't have to have voice acting because it's having done it myself now, it's pressure that you put on yourself, and ultimately it proves unnecessary at times, kind of like here. So yeah, I've gone back on a lot of stuff that I preached back in the day. If Leon ever decides to remake the Dharmist again, I'll just I'll let it be, unless he wants my help, in which case, of course. But anyway, you guys call the hip hop pops detergent pops because one of the characters is called Fairy, the other one is called Tide Pop. Oh my goodness, no, keep it up, we need Harpic Pop in there or something. Oh, good grief. Okay, Vanish Pop, that'd be a good one actually. Power of Invisibility. Oh wait, no, we already had that in the Toddy TV, didn't we? Never mind. Yeah, forget that. You must think of the last time I saw in the cemetery at my cousin's burial. Actually, well, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I guess ultimately that's kind of like the vibe that we're going for, I suppose. I will say sometimes that when I've walked around like graveyards or something, I look at the names on some of them and I think, huh, that's a very interesting name there, and then I forget all about them. So the fact that you have the association, I guess, hold on to that, I suppose, and also my condolences. I'm kind of getting myself to do lines, which is kind of taking me a long time. Oh, that's why I haven't gotten many lines from you. I guess, well, maybe, who knows, maybe I've done my entire part because episode 10 is taking forever, but, you know. You just want, you're talking about like for, sorry, you're talking about for British pops. Never mind. Yes, that is, that is fair. Which, by the way, I don't know if you know this, Treat Pop. I'm not sure if Khadija talked to you about this, but in the original version, you get featured. You have a cameo appearance in that script, and it references the British pops too. So it makes me think that was like a fairly recent addition. So I don't know. I don't know if you two talked about that or that was a requested thing. I mean, I can 100% leave it. Oh, okay. Okay, so you don't know about this. All right. Maybe I can I put that segment on screen? Let's see. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna take a screenshot so I don't like well, this is even the full version, but still. Okay. All right. I was just picking the segment because I want to like also highlight what this process is kind of like. Let's see. Treat pop cameo. Okay. Okay, here it is. So, so this is a little bit. They're not separated by scenes or whatever, so we just have like the end of the geography teacher scene, which immediately goes into because the bell rings, but they're still inside the class. So I guess Treat Pop walks by, I presume outside, like in the hallway, and then Remy goes, "Oh hey," because look at her. So Remy, who's that? She's visiting from the college next to our school. I met her outside. Just like that one pop, I think, called Treat Pop. That's because she is. No, what? A pop. They're like superheroes and pop stars. They usually between 1 to 3 groups per country. For example, Germany's the ballet pops, and here in the UK we have the British pops. There we go. That seems so dead. Now everyone loves them. I would love to be one. Same. Anyway, we have a Spanish now and then PE after lunch. Just the Aiden quality segue right there. Flawless. Absolutely. Absolutely not keeping that one in. But yeah, I guess you're visiting from the college next door, just randomly roaming the hallways, attracting attention from one of the people who I will state is one of the new kids, and therefore probably shouldn't know about the visitors over the ones who aren't new. Just saying. So again, stuff like that is what I'm like making changes to. I can keep you in if you want. I'll probably have another excuse for why you're there, but anyway. Okay. Pop names are Tide Pop, Fable Pop, Monochrome Pop, Enchanted Pop, Feather Pop, and Light Pop. Okay. I'm curious about Monochrome Pop now. I mean, I guess there's a canonical reason for that to be the case, and that does imply the other ones will not be monochrome, which is a good variation for certain pop designs, for sure. Me want cameo. Oh, look, it's Bon from the Pop Pops. It'll not be the most powerful, colorful pop in the group. Yeah, just like Majesty's his niece or something. I don't know. That's so much about you. We can't wait for you to restore the energy. The entirety of Terratus can't wait. In fact, we are having a great banquet tonight in honor of you. We can't wait for you to complete your mission, but we are going to have a banquet in your honor, so please do stay for that and take more time. Like, come on. There'll be lots of food, music, and dancing, and then you'll be given the lyre. After Entmoot. We've been preparing ever since we heard you coming. By the way, if you're saying that, I have to redo your lines, I don't need to do a voice lines by accident, just re-download them. I sent them on Discord. You can re-download lines and then just use them again. Why do you need me to re-record them? That doesn't make any sense. And also, you can stay the night at our cottage if you wish. Really? All for us? Yes, you are our special guests of honor. Oh, wait, wrong voice. Yes, you are our special guests of honor. My sister's so confused due to music because we're sitting almost right beside each other. Well, hello to Melissa's sister, in case you can hear what's going on the stream. I don't know. Well, I think we might then. I've learned that lesson by KW. Well, if you've learned the lesson, then why did you ask me to redo them? If you've learned the lesson, that means you know how to fix the problem, so you wouldn't have told me there was a problem to begin with. So did you learn the lesson or not? So please give Gump a Forrest Gump voice. Okay, fair enough. You're lucky I've watched the English version of this movie.
Alright then, follow us and you can settle in.
I mean, if she has any more lines, because that might have been her last lines. Oh. That evening.
Hello, my fellow Terratians.
I'm guessing it's Terratians, like, you know, like Martians from Mars, like that kind of thing.
Tonight is a great celebration of our special guests.
Another Aiden technique, by the way, address an audience of many that are behind the camera.
They have traveled all the way from Earth to restore the Eletopia.
Is that the lyre playing in the background? Someone's already using it.
So, can we make sure they are welcome here? I know I asked you this when we set up the party, but I'll ask you again. Well, in that case, let the festivities begin. Time to dance. Music, please.
This is where I probably would have had, like, silence to begin with, and then, like, or maybe, like, crowd sound effects, potentially, like a little bit of muttering, and then the music starts. But, I mean, either way. Also, now, I guess, I would have dimmed the background as well for this a little bit, because it seems like we've just gone, like, back in time to, like, an earlier point in the day. But that being said, dance scene, we love. So, here we go, yeah. I might write different lines because I don't know the last I wrote for you. They're on your community post. You know exactly what you wrote for me. And even if you didn't know what you wrote for me, you can check because you can hear the recordings because they're still on Discord. This is a non-issue. Oh, green sleeves, love it. With that instrumentation, alright then. I made this the theme song to one of the old Butterverse series, actually. It's also one of the only things I learned to play on the guitar, back when I still played. And I only recently found out that there were actually lyrics to it the whole time. And it's all about someone called Lady Greensleeves, particularly, so it makes sense. The name makes sense, finally. Also, there's a character here with green sleeves. I think I did that exact same move in, like, the Grim Fairy Tales play that I got my name from. Also, yes, Melissa, I have 100% heard the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. It's a very famous historical event that I learned about in class a long time ago. And watched a documentary of, actually. Pompeya, el último día, or Pompeii, the last day. There you go, that's what you get for that. Not much to review, but we'll take it. Oh, actually, you know what? I'll say one thing. I wish that we saw, like, the Pops also dancing, like, a bit of this sequence, but I guess that's, like, double the work, so fair enough. That's Eli's version of Poison Ivy. Okay. The headbutt, okay. A round of applause. Yes, indeed, a proper round, exactly.
Thank you all for coming tonight. We have had such a fun time. thank you to the Blues Pops for coming to restore the Elogem. But you can't restore the Elogem without the lyre. That's why you came to this realm, so you know that already, but, okay. So now let us give it to you. Was my sister watching Harry Potter? Hey, if so, approved. Your sister has taste. See, now look at this character looks very interesting, actually. Could have also been another one of those, like, hypothetical emissaries. No, it doesn't matter. Thank you. Well, that's 2 items now. I don't know if they just, like, designed that character just for that one, like, mission. You know, gotta respect that. By the way, also, I will also say, like, a public thank you to Bond for making so many extras for Weather Pops. Because yeah, I've seen a lot of the demos for them, and I'm still importing them into Gacha Life 2 itself. But yeah, definitely extremely helpful, because otherwise I'd just be like there forever not being able to start the series until I had enough people in the background. But yeah, one of my friends reads the Harry Potter books. Okay, your friend also has taste, and might I say a more refined taste than just the movies, because the books are definitely far better. Anyway, they gave the Blues Pop flower crowns. That's so sweet. Oh, you know what? I glossed over that, actually. I just went over me, so thank you for pointing that out. But yeah, that is a nice touch for sure. It's almost kind of like how sometimes when you like have you know, like diplomatic guests or something, you'll give them some sort of like ceremonial garb from like your particular nation, or in this case the entire, you know, realm or planet or whatever they're on. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, are they on a different planet? Because I know they like walked up into the sky in order to get to Salorium. I guess they like descended back down to get to Terratus. So is it there's like one planet of Eletopia, but just like different portions of it? Is that how that works? I don't actually know for sure. About horror movies, but how it's just like going through like TikToks or YouTube Shorts or something, because these are some very fast changes that are going on, if otherwise. My brain meant caveman. Make design Oomba Goomba. Triplet good. More accessory. Yes, good. Ooga Booga. More accessory, not always good, but in this case, the majority of them were good. The majority. Anyway. Hey, Snap is wearing my power crown. Your power crown? Did I miss that part of the lore? I don't remember that being a part of the lore. Yes, now you are halfway there, and living on a prayer. And then you'll be able to restore the Elogem. Yes, we've gone over this, okay? Yeah, keep it moving. This really is like an ent that never gets to the point. But anyway, it's getting late, fellow Terratians. Let us go back to our homes now. Squidward on a chair. I don't know the reference, but I know the meter, so just went with that. Squidward on a chair. I don't know. Good night, everybody. We have decided that you are not orcs. Guess what? I told you that Entmoot lasted normally for several days, if not weeks, but it just so happens that the Entmoot that you waited for was our fastest Entmoot in entire history. You know, we're gonna go to Isengard now. Just like, come on. I will say the best part about like the Ents overall was the song to do with the Entwives. The rest of it I was kind of like, oh god. Ah. The next mermaid. Oh wait, no. Ah, good morning. How did you sleep? Good. That's good. Mama always said if you sleep good, you live good. The director for the movies hated Tolkien let things go on for too long and basically clicked fast forward for the story for the films. That is true. And to some extent, of course, I was one of like those like book snobs who was like, oh, why'd they cut out like this particular thing? It's like, oh yeah, where's like Haldir, Rumiel, and Orifin? And then they referenced Haldir like once, and I was like, wait a minute, they didn't set him up. Why are they drawing attention to him? Deleted scene. That's why. But I was that kind of person watching the Lord of the Rings films for the first time, or the second time rather, because the first time I saw the Two Towers, I hadn't read the books yet, and then afterwards, yeah, whatever. But for some stuff, I do appreciate that because by the time that I was like in the middle of like the Two Towers, I remember that for like a month on end or something, there was this one teacher who kept on like asking me, and also some friends like asked me like what I was reading. I answered the Two Towers every single time. I was like, still, like, yes, I'm still reading the Two Towers, okay? Have you ever tried? Have you ever like seen what this is like? They described an entire page worth of background for this one scene in Lothlorien, and then they say that Aragorn doesn't come back to it ever as a living man. Then why did we see it? And that was, I think, that was before the Ents as well. The part that was intentionally dragged on for too long. But that being said, I would have liked to have seen Tom Bombadil, admittedly. But oh well. Anyway. Do so uncanny, but it sounds eerily similar. I try my best to get into character whenever I can. Alright. I must depart now. See you later. Yes, enjoy that world tour, or whatever kind of tour you're doing. They rubbed us with Tom Bob. Yeah. I had such a fun night. A fun night last night. Thanks for organizing it. Oh, no problem. Us Terratians love celebrating anything and everything. I wish I could stay here forever. So does the creator, but even she had to depart just now. But we need to get the rest of the items, and there could be mermaids in Aquavia. You know what? I never thought I would say this, but for once I agree with Maddie. I love mermaids. We had to have something in common, eventually. Aside from Gacha, I guess. Oh hey, a guest is here. Kaka, alright then. Hold on a second. Oh, by the way, another StreamYard feature that I had to mention, reusable studio. So I can just keep going back into this one, eventually. I'll have to change the description again and again, but we'll see how that goes. The Fallen Angels guy is here. Is that how you know Aiden? Have you two not like talked a lot? I think maybe you haven't actually. Well, I mean, you've talked in reviews, obviously, but yeah, I suppose. That's wild, actually. Anyway, not tired of mermaids yet. He was here for the previous mermaid stream as well. Yeah. There you go. Ah, Aiden jump scare. He's almost just in time. We're almost done with this episode. Not quite to the end. Well, there are lots of merfolk here in Aquavia. Unfortunately, it's quite easy to get on their bad side. However, they do enjoy if you bribe them with shrimp, or shrimp stew, shrimp soup, shrimp kebabs.
I'm stopping there. But if you just say who you are and what you are, what you are there for, you will be fine. I guess they'll believe you. I know it's a bubble thing, but close enough. Yeah, I know. I mean, he ended up making the company himself after some time. So. Apparently, the Forrest Gump book, they have like a bunch of other stuff that makes it even like crazier. Oh, it's a bit like Kalani. Well, not really, because Kalani didn't trust the answers. Oh yeah, I was about to say, yeah, that was like, yeah, that's how they've interacted. Because I was like, yeah, no, they've definitely had other interactions. I was like, oh yeah, of course, animations, yeah. We talk about what, yeah, well, I see, yeah, that does make sense. You would think of Aiden as the Fallen Angels guy, I guess, in that case, because that's like that'd be almost the exclusive topic of conversation between the pair of you. That makes perfect sense, actually. Sort of. They probably won't test you, though. What about the people in Inflammatus? That's a bit of a story. Not many live there anymore. I will say, in the first episode, Majesty did say that it would be difficult to convince the dragon to part with its fire. I guess unless it's parting with the fire, engulfing them within it, but not quite what is meant, I suppose. Oh well. The animation's been 4 months in the making. That sounds like animation. Another question that I get with Mutant Girl sometimes is why haven't I made like the jump to animation? Perfect example right there. Not even the full episode, and it takes that long, and already the episodes drag on for they're going to like duration wise between releases for way too long. So yeah, 100%. I don't think I will ever make the jump into tweening particularly. I will say I think I'm kind of comfortable where I am right now, and it seems like that's working out for people. Also, the first scene of Weather Pops apparently went down really well with Emily, so that's a plus when Emily approves of something. Anyways, Aiden's here.
Hello.
Hello.
This is a strange trial. What is the trial today? With the queen. I assume it's a trial.
According to the queen, there's not going to be... Sorry, go on.
The way the events, at least the last events I saw, it transpired, it's like each time they have to get a new piece, it's like a trial they have to do.
Well, they've only got one piece thus far. Well, but also what you've seen, they've actually got a second piece now. But the last that you saw, they only had one. What they had to do this time was they were eager for the earthen to be restored. The king and queen were. They were excited about the prospect, but they still held a banquet and had them, depart the next day anyway. Because of course you do that.
We gotta have filler. We gotta.
The only request was that they attended the banquet and had a good time. Apparently, the merfolk, either in Terratus or Aquavia, are going to ask them to like state their business or whatever. But that's kind of it, to be honest. They're about to leave.
I mean, honestly, if they had a trial every time they had to like get a piece, that would actually be pretty cool.
That's where I thought this was going, actually, particularly because Eli said this was like her favorite episode of the particular bunch. It seemed like
maybe you have one like, I mean, granted, the trial last thing I saw, like the first trial, wasn't very good. But I mean, if the trials actually were made good, like maybe there's like a combat thing, maybe they have to prove how good of a singing they are.
I was thinking about this. That actually,
maybe if they're like locked in an escape room, I don't know, something cool.
Yeah. I think in Tony TV there was one episode Super Pops at one point where they had to like sing to prove who they were. I think that was like the excuse in that particular episode for a song number.
feel like I'm just gonna reference Agatha all along, but each episode of Agatha all along, each trial chamber they go into on the Witch's Road is basically like a escape room. But we love the.
Feels like there should be like different types of trials, but
Well, there is
well.
different trials in each thing. One was like you had to find a cure for a poison that you all were forced to drink. The second one was singing singing someone's ballad to like ward off a curse that was transferred to everyone. And the third was completing a Ouija board and fighting a dead ghost's mother, or like one of the main character's dead mothers as a ghost. Trial fare.
Kind of similar to the time that Goku had to fight his dead grandfather. Yeah.
Why? And why is your text so fancy?
Why is what so fancy?
Why is your text so fancy?
We like to study earthen inventions over here. Anyways, after the Elegem was stolen, heaps of the inhabitants left Terratus. Oh, does that mean that there are like... Does that mean that there are like second generation like immigrant families here potentially? Or first generation, I guess, was only 10 years ago, but...
what I don't I do kind of appreciate the multiple colors on our design, but I also find it weird how I feel like the purple doesn't gel well with the design. Like, not the purple, the red doesn't gel well
like
with
the
the green
burgundy,
design.
yeah.
Like, I personally would have either maybe had that be like the purple-ish. I think I'd probably have that be like the purple on like the head, maybe, or maybe something like. Maybe a blue? I don't know. I'm like trying to think. I'm like, I don't really like the red. Like the red kind of sticks out.
Well,
like a sore
normally
thumb.
brown is the combination because given that they're all
like a
forest
root,
themed, that would make the most sense.
Ooh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Like
Anyways, what I was
blood.
Anyways, what I was trying to get at was that if this was the case the whole time, we should have seen potentially like a few people who potentially like either I guess they might have like adopted like the fashion clothing of the particular place they're in, like the realm that they've chosen to stay in, or potentially they've kept their Flammatus attire to stand out, and then was like, hold on, is this a normal thing? Why are there some people here? And then we find out about this. That would have been a good like environmental storytelling. That's what I was trying to say. Also, alright, fair enough, you've got to go. Thank you for joining. Yeah. Harry Potter calls. Fair enough. From what we've heard, a big fierce dragon came to live there. Probably because dragon's fire was one of the ingredients inside of the Elegem restoration thing, but I guess that was a whole coincidence then.
I know it's Gacha and you really can't have them fighting a dragon, but that would be cool. Fight a dragon.
There are some dragon pets.
Yeah, but you can't emote with the pets is a problem. You can't really emote with them, so it's like... how are you going to do a fight scene?
We know the solution to that, don't we? But we saw it on the Buster Punch. La 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 la. Wah 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 wah. And now only the fire sprites still live there.
Everyone just looks so generically happy, like, yeah, yay.
Do you remember what they look? Well, this is better than what they looked like. Well, they've had a banquet, so they're feeling relaxed and rested and kind of content right now.
They all seem to smile though. Like, I hate this. Like, come on, very to smile at least a little bit.
I will say at least Magic Pop has as a different position rather than just being in default pose.
Default pose 1. We love default pose 1. It's our favorite.
We sure do. But yeah. The fire sprites are pretty nice, and they love playing games. Well, I hope the dragon lets us take the dragon's fire. I assume he probably guards it. You don't have to assume. Majesty told you that 2 episodes ago. That is what happened.
We have to recap it because we don't assume the audience has seen previous episodes, despite building an arc.
We had a recap at the beginning of the episode from like last.
Like, I always find this kind of weird because, like, keep in mind, this is like a arc. This is explicitly a arc, and the fact that you're actively recapping things, that's happened so far that's been said throughout the arc constantly is weird because like this isn't a one-off episode that you're calling back to like an episode in season 1. You're not calling back to something a long time ago that people may have forgot about. This is like an active arc that people presumably are watching all in a row or like cutting into the middle of but may go back and watch the previous parts. Like it's kind of weird.
Most likely, I imagine that a lot of people will watch the LGM arc in one go. I can't confirm that, but I can
Like it's an
guess based
arc.
on-
I mean, I feel like arcs need a little less recappiness, or at least less blatant recaps. You know,
Okay.
or restating.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Bon, if you want to cameo in the series, then I might. I'll let you make yourself in the weather pop style because obviously you're gonna want to.
If you want to make me in the wear pop style, so I could also cameo, that'd be great, Bon. I would love the cameo. You want to convert me?
Another visitor from the local college.
I could be a teacher, you know. I'm big brain.
This is true. So far all the teachers in the original script are female, but we'll
Male
but
teacher
I
rep.
want to, yeah,
We
I will at some point once I start inventing the teachers, then I will get to that because I want to keep the same classes for now. So yeah, eventually we'll get to that. Yes, from what we've heard, he does. But take it one step at a time. You still have the coral sand to get.
Remember, you
there's no
have to
reason-
give it a shot.
I don't see any reason. Well, I guess if you had to go on... I think I have to go underwater, they couldn't get the dragon's fire first. I guess that makes sense. Breakfast is ready now. Eat up so you have enough energy for the next journey. Oh, guess what? Your food was poisoned. Now you gotta cook create an antidote. that was the trial. After breakfast.
You know what would have
Time to
helped?
go
You
to
know what would have
bed.
helped these episodes as well? What if each trial focused on a certain pop? You know, like I say each trial, getting each part kind of centered a certain pop, or a certain pop effectively took the main protagonist role into getting each piece. That would have probably been a good format to take, where it's like Magic Pop is like the one who's like takes charge in episode 1 and it's like the one mainly doing everything episode 1, you know.
I'm gonna say Snap Pop should have done that because Snap Pop has levitation powers, and I'm guessing that some trial could have involved like keeping objects afloat in some particular way that's like natural. For,
well, that'd be a good way to kind of
like
focus on each pop individually per
trial, and then
trial or per event, you know.
Yeah. Magic Pop I would have said I would have used for this episode, mainly because the other two... oh, wait, no, sorry, Safari Pop I've used for this one. Partly because the name is Safari. I mean, come on, you've got to have a forest, you could have animals there, potentially, for an actual safari type of thing. But also because Magic Pop and... Snap Pop also has water powers. I was going to say, two of them have water powers, so... but then Winter Pop has ice. So the fact is they could have teamed up, they could have doubled up for the Aquavia one, and then everyone has to have some sort of trial in Flamatis, which is like the complete opposite to all of them. That's how I would have done that, but close enough. Yeah. Sorry, what? Hold on a second. Me eating a bottle, just eating ice cream in the background of a random scene. It's like someone at camera gonna make them eat ice cream in the background of a scene. Okay. You also had to go into the water blues? Yeah, probably not. That's a hint of season 2 of the Bad Pops. Wait, maybe not, Jacob. We can't really taste stuff. It's smell that I can't do, Bon. I can taste stuff just fine. I know that people say that smell and taste are, intrinsically linked.
They're
I
not.
guess because I guess because I never had one to begin with, it never was linked. I don't know, but yeah. Yeah, my taste buds are fine. Just give him vegan ice cream. That wasn't the problem. Also, I am not vegan. Anyway.
He's vegetarian. He could eat regular ice cream. He doesn't need vegan ice cream.
Yeah, if smell and taste were the same thing, they wouldn't call it the 5 senses.
The four senses, sort of.
The four
What?
senses and their multiple classifications, I guess.
To be
Anyway.
fair, I can't smell half the time. It comes and goes. My sense of smell is very finicky.
Actually, if yours comes and goes, does that mean that your taste comes and goes with it?
No, my taste is fine.
Oh,
I can
okay,
always
there you go,
taste. I
Yeah,
can
fair
always
enough.
taste.
I think as some people when they like get colds or something, and then like their noses are blocked, then they can't smell, and then that like ties into like their taste or something. Yeah, I suppose. I think because like the smells of certain like foods and drinks inform like the perception of them, and that like affects the taste and whatever. But again,
My brain informs my thing. I see something, and if it doesn't look good, it makes me freak out.
that's just a regular fear response.
I have severe issues with food. Yay!
Oh, okay. I guess ultimately maybe that's why like like presentation of food ends up mattering.
Presentation matters a lot to me. It's like this doesn't look good. Oh no.
Fair enough then. I mean, sometimes there are certain like things that our brains look out for. That's like, yeah, no, don't put that inside of anything.
Don't eat that lunch, Lee. The cheese has green in it. It may be mold. Oh no.
Yeah, don't eat K's or candies cooking. There's something wrong in the thumbnail. But do watch the videos. You see his favorite ice cream flavors.
Chocolate ice cream.
I'm gonna have to go with either coffee or salted caramel. Coffee, from like nostalgically speaking, a lot of the time I have coffee ice cream when I last lived in Spain, actually. And salted caramel because I love salted caramel in general. So yeah.
Do you live in Spain currently?
I do.
Staying in Spain? Are you just staying in Spain, or like temporarily or permanently?
Well, I mean, I guess. Well, technically both. I guess I live here for the duration of the school year.
Oh, fun.
Salted caramel, true classic. It was for me. I discovered it like relatively recently.
How is school going?
Like, couple of years or 3 years, but yeah, coffee ice cream is the nostalgic one for me.
How is school going or working?
Well, things have settled down now because we had like I had an issue with like the timetables and such. Like,
Really, know you speak Spanish now.
Want to hear about this? People want to hear about this like on
I do
on Gacha review.
Did you tell them you speak Spanish yet or no? Do they still speak it? Only think you speak English?
Well, that was one particular class because I have because there were 4 English teachers that I'm paired up with like in different weeks. So the teacher for this week actually didn't keep up that ruse. But I did also say to like everyone that I will speak to you only in English, and it's like it's like one particular word or something like that, and sometimes. But so they all so that set of classes know that I can speak Spanish, but they also know that I'm not going to respond to them. So even if they don't end up trying as much, they will still be listening. So still get something out of that. Anyways, next episode.
I think people in Gacha Review care about your life. Right, guys? Don't you care about Jacob's life?
Well, I mean, the thing is that we derail the Gacha Review to talk about like a bunch of stuff, but when it's like specific, like, oh yeah, how's work been? I feel like most of the time people just be like, when that happens. So I'm very aware that something is just not going to be even by like our audience's standards, so like this audience here, something's just not gonna.
Oh, we're starting exactly where we left off, literally.
Outside of that's what happened in between like the Eletopia and Silurian episodes too. We just like open up with their like very unimpressed reactions to the floating castle. Anyway, time to go to Aquavia. Yes, it is.
Ice cream is vegetarian, Bon. It's just not vegan. Ice cream isn't vegan naturally. It's always been vegetarian, technically.
Yeah, no, it's because Ghost Kitty said that that she would make the ice cream vegan, as if that would mean that I could somehow like miraculously taste that instead.
You can only taste vegan stuff. Your taste buds are very selective of what I can taste. Like I just see you just trying to eat a steak and be like, oh, my taste buds aren't responding to this. My taste buds have disabled themselves.
Mm-hmm. Oh look, I just realized I got a text from my dad asking about the week, and I forgot to respond to that.
Wow, you're such a bad child to your father. How could you?
I think I was setting up this at the time.
Wow, your dad probably thinks you died.
Yeah, of course, clearly. Anyway, don't really go Urban B because on a sort of tangent about Alan Wake control, which is not in control to Alan Wake. At least with your work. I mean, yeah, that will probably that might like dwindle or something at a certain point. But then again, you know, sometimes I surprise myself. Like I sang the Phineas and Ferb theme song in the middle of a class on yesterday. Okay, that's a good story at least, because I was trying to make the point that I tasked the class to do to work on like part of an original song in groups. And some of them, what they did was they started writing the song in Spanish and then translating it into English.
One of them did lobotomies.
As an example, that wasn't the lobotomy group. That was a different one.
Oh, the Shake It Off lobotomy group. Shake it off.
No.
Cut it off.
What Aiden's referencing is the fact that one of the other groups, there were a few students that decided to, a pair of students who decided to make a song that was a parody of Taylor Swift's song Shake It Off about lobotomies. That was not the same group. The different group, I made the example of of the Phineas and Ferb theme song being like very different in Spanish to English, which, you know, it keeps the essence of what it is, but some of the stuff they do to compensate for it is truly bizarre. Like giving a monkey a shower becomes let's bathe a monkey with gel. It's that kind of thing.
Let's bathe a monkey with gel. Oh, that's a. Do you guys not have soap? Shampoo? Is that not a thing?
Well, sorry. Well, gel doesn't rhyme with Torre Eiffel, which was the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, that's why they changed it. Anyway, I signed the theme song school with Jacob Potter thing over. Yeah, see, that kind of work stories, I guess, you know, are exciting enough. But yeah, when it comes like just there's like the general minutiae, I guess I kind of gloss over most of that stuff. Anyways. Oh yeah, I forgot. This is yeah.
Oh, you gotta mute it. Giving a monkey a shower.
Bañemos a mono con gel. Okay. So obviously that group knows that I speak Spanish because I gave the example on the board. So yeah. Is intro copyrighted? I think it's got me claimed in the past. That's why I mute it.
Yes. Yes, thank you for coming. Ho, ho, ho. I'm British-ish.
Oh yeah, the reason I gave that character a Forrest Gump voice is because Bon asked me to, because the king's name is Forrest, so I made the joke that the queen's name was Gump.
Wait, the queen not have a name? It's like the
oh no,
like
it's like Mistra or something like that.
I was about to be like, yeah. Wait, did I was gonna call him Prism. No, wrong creator. Did Eli not? I was about to be like, did Eli give like the king a name, but like the queen is like the queen doesn't deserve a name. The king though, he'll get a name. Who needs a name?
That was not what happened. It's just the king said his name first, then I made a joke, and then I roll with it.
No problem. We had a wonderful time. This is I love wasting time in these storylines.
Oh yeah, Ghost Kitty also asked what scat is. I think that scat the verb. Yeah, so like scat the verb is like I think it's like a jazz term essentially. It's the kind of thing where you're saying like random like random combinations of not actual proper words, but still like to the rhythm of something. So like
That's not
that
what
kind of thing.
Oh god.
That's what Ghost Kitty was asking, okay? That type of scatting, the one that we were specifically doing. If we do the other version, the one that you're thinking of, we get the stream taken down. So it was definitely the first one. Anyway. Yeah, we had a wonderful time. I've had the time of my life. Anyway. We are so grateful that you are coming to get the Elogem back. You're going to get the Elogem back. They're leaving the kingdom right now. Scat is a cat. Well, there's like a character called Scat Cats, which is a whole thing. Yeah. No, there actually is. There's like a very.
I don't
famous,
like that though, because I
duel.
know what I know the word scat to mean in relation.
MC Cat, I'm on the raps of Mike. It's something you're gonna like it. I don't know.
Fluttershy, keep talking, I guess, over here. We're so grateful, something. Fluttershy. His Fluttershy ears.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
His ears are yellow like Fluttershy, that's why I'm saying
I was going to say, I've seen what Fluttershy looks like now. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on a second.
Fluttershy ears.
It's one of the reasons I can't have personal combos with Aiden and can't get his head out of there. Okay. And you are welcome back in Terratus anytime you want. To give us our lyre back, hopefully, but, you know.
You're not getting it back, it's ours. We're evil pops now.
Oh, see, now look what you've done. Now she's asking the other meaning.
Poop.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Anyway, we will definitely return. I don't know. I don't think they ever show up here again, but we'll see.
We'll definitely return, unless we get our memories erased and we'll get lost for 10 years again. Who knows?
Maybe they'll get lost for 10 years in this realm, actually. Now, do we have the item still? I have the lyre.
I guess that's meant to be her checking the bag.
It is, yes. Yeah, the feather's still in here. I've got the lyre. I've got the feather. I got a rock. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's also a comment that someone that Bon asked before we started the stream. Yeah, we are post shipwreck because the Elogem supposedly got stolen in between that time. The blue tops were gotten rid of because someone wanted to steal the Elogem, and then they spent 10 years doing nothing with it, and they're restoring it as of right now, going through all these different. Well, I said going through all these trials. Hold on a second. I just remember it was like Majesty said at the beginning that the King and Queen of Eletopia said that many people have tried and failed. So either they either they failed the very simple trials or got like the King and Queen's bad side in each situation, or what they got to like Flamatis and they had to and then the dragon scorched them or something. Or maybe we're just gonna get some very murderous mermaids today. You never know.
This is why trials would have been such a great idea for this. Like, if each episode they had to deal with a unique trial.
Yeah, it would make sense that so many have failed. Yeah. Okay. Good.
And plus, you could get like good testing of who the pops are as like heroes and protectors, and how like truly strong-willed and strong they are as people. You know, it really show off their character more. Because now this comes off more like a glorified fetch quest. Yeah, a fetch quest where they know where everything is.
A little bit of that. Yeah, we kind of did a little bit of that in Jazz Pop Season 2 because of the introduction of the blues pops. And Jazz Pop Season 2, honestly, is like still one of my favorite like Eli seasons. I think it's my second favorite overall. It's like behind Ballet Pop Season 1, obviously. Because of what Aiden's describing, those like individual moments that you actually have, and some of the actual stakes and like personal conflicts that got introduced for some of them, like the and also the implication of like there being like a traitor in their midst as well, which there was, but it was on the person they were thinking of. Someone even got gaslit into thinking that they were the traitor.
Well, how do you gaslight someone? I know you're the traitor, huh? It's like, no, I'm not. I haven't betrayed anyone. You're the traitor.
No,
Wait, what if I am the traitor? Oh my god, I must have betrayed everyone. I must be working against him. I'm evil. I'm after you all. Time to die, guys. Mwahaha. Like,
well, you can watch season 2 of Jazz Pops to find out.
Like, what?
Wait a second. I actually need to put a spell on us so we can breathe underwater.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, Majesty did promise to do that like 3 episodes ago. The minds are too turned to mush to understand fear anymore. Well, maybe that part of the trauma didn't come back to them, and they actually just don't remember the actual event.
Oh, I remember the final episode of Blue Claw season 1. It was the worst because, like, we didn't even get to see them get captured, see the event actually take place. We just heard about the event taking place from the villains. Be like, yes, we separated all the Blues Pops. They're now far away. It's like, okay.
Also, allegedly, Gabriel Agreste was on that cruise as well.
And that makes no sense if season 5 is canon. Like, the ending of season 5, oh god, how's he on the cruise ship?
So you mean like Action Miraculous season 5? I thought you were talking about like Jazz Pops or something. I think Jazz Pops has 4 seasons. But in any case, it doesn't make sense even in like the franchise because Gabriel Agreste also appears later on in Disco Pops because that got like...
He's a villain for 10 years. He's a villain for 10 years, I guess.
Yeah. Well, wait, he appeared in the revival because of Strike Back Sadness. He was actually... He was dead in the original version, but he died in like a different way. And also more recently,
and they were mourning his death like he was a good person, which I guess that kind of tracks if the way Miraculous wants us to perceive him. Oh, he did the right thing in the end. He terrorized everyone, mentally abused Adrian.
I mean, you say the right thing in the end. He did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, which is like, you should have just gave him your Miraculous in the beginning. Clearly it didn't matter. Which I kind of hate that, where it didn't technically matter. Like the whole like 5
ultimately
season struggle.
Bear in mind I still haven't seen the epilogue, but I mentioned this before that the way that I interpret that perception, I guess for the rest of the people also who don't know what happened, that's partly one thing, but also bearing in mind that remember that that Rick and Morty episode with like the King Jellybean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the ending of that, it kind of reminds me of what happened in Ragnos, where they still like keep the statue up despite what like came out about the Jellybean. There's like one line where they said that they think people should remember him for the king that they knew him as, rather than the Jellybean he actually was, or something to that effect. I think that's the idea, like that to them at least, in their eyes, the symbol was more important to remember. And I'm not saying that's the correct thing. But also bearing in mind that they're in Rags.
I mean, to be fair, thanks to epilogue, Marinette's decision to lie to everyone makes a lot more sense than it did in the original one. Because in the original one, in season 5 finale, it kind of felt like Monarch pretty much gaslit her, like manipulated her to lying. It's like, hey, don't tell my son about this. Kind of felt more manipulative for him, being like, hey, Marinette, you shouldn't don't tell Adrian this. It's like,
I'm not sure if that's manipulation as much as it is just a random request. I mean,
yeah,
the Green Goblin did the exact same thing in Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, but like I just kind of hate the way it is. And then Marinette was like, okay, fine, I won't tell anyone, just because he asked or whatever. Like it kind of felt like, hey, I know I just betrayed you and all, but just heed my final request. It's like,
Well, I go back to the Jellybean example.
Yeah.
Would it hurt him more to know or to not know? And again, I'm not saying that was the right decision, but
that's Marinette pretty much goes through something similar where she's like, oh, I can't tell Adrian about his father,
Yeah.
Where
of course you would, yeah.
It felt more like it was her decision rather than, someone else's decision. And heck, Kagami even's like, okay, I don't agree with it, but if this is what you want to do, I will accept it.
Yeah, see,
yeah.
exactly. I mean, ultimately, Kagami is just,
She's
is wise like that.
respectful.
But
although
yeah.
I do kind of hate how Kagami's like, oh, I could change my mother's opinion. I could change my
Do you
mother's
mind like
opinion.
not talking too much about the plot of the epilogue before I've
Yeah.
watched it? Like,
I
I
mean,
wasn't
it
gonna
was
say
just a
anything,
small
but
thing.
I mean,
It was just a small thing in there. It was like a single line, but it just always kind of annoys me how it kind of feels like Kagami's mom, it just being equally abusive as Gabriel is gonna just kind of get away with being super
again,
abusive for no reason.
with no context of the epilogue just yet. I think Kagami's allowed to be a little bit irrational here because when you're like that close to a person, when they're that not in your head, but also they've raised you, you're going to want to believe the best in them and want to make exceptions for them despite your best judgment. And that's happened to Kagami multiple times with people.
Yeah, no, just Kagami.
So it does make sense. Yeah. Like all the stuff, even like epilogue or otherwise, it made like character sense to me at the very least. But again, I'll check out the epilogue at some point, and then I will.
Kagami's mom should go to jail or die. I don't care which one. I
wonder what charges they would lay against her.
Well, child abuse for sure. Conspiracy. Because she.
Yeah, how much evidence did Monarch erase is the real question. It's like,
technically
don't
none.
answer that. I was rhetorical, Aiden.
Oh.
God. That was a joke. I will find out, is what I'm saying.
Yes. Sure, yeah. He erased it all. Ooh.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, who even was? There never was a Monarch.
What's Monarch? Seasons 1 through 5 Miraculous didn't happen because the universe reset to the point where it never happened. Monarch never existed, guys. Trust me, bro. He never existed.
That was actually kind of my fear at the end of season 5, where it was like, hold on a second, wait a minute. If then
no, Monarch existed. Technically, all that stuff did happen. That wasn't erased from the timeline. That all stuff technically did happen.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think this was before that. I think Johnny mentioned something like where it was presumed that we saw Emily at the end, but then it turns out the creator said that was Amelie instead. That was I don't know where Johnny got that information, but that's just what he said to me. But before that point, I was like, wait a minute. If she's here, then he wouldn't have had to do this, and then that, and then there.
I mean, I'm gonna be
honest. My what if brain started like filling the blanks. Was like, oh no,
the wish doesn't really make any sense. I'm gonna be honest. If the rules stay established about the wish that we find out in the special,
well, see, that's what I was. Yeah,
it still objectively doesn't really make sense with the pre-established rules. But it's a thing, I guess.
Yep. Anyways, I'm trying to see if
who's Monarch? Not Monarch. Who's Shadow Moth? Hawk Moth? Who?
Yeah.
Hawk Moth. Never met her.
Scarlet Moth? Vaguely familiar.
Scarlet Moth was like a 1 episode thing.
It's like for a day.
Yeah, which honestly, missed opportunity to introduce Scarlet Moth again. I mean, I guess they technically did in the.
I think he would probably been like way too overpowered if they kept that up.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, but you introduce a mechanic where you could hypothetically give someone that much power. You give yourself that much power, and then you don't use it. It's like time travel.
But they did introduce a drawback from it as well.
Yeah.
Anywho, all right.
Natalie getting sick. We love that. Natalie's my favorite war criminal.
Well, okay, Ada, you did say in the past that when they choose like a power up, you like there to be like a balance to it, like some sort of like reason they can't like overuse it, and they did provide that.
Yeah, she just started dying. It's great. Even though he could have just gave that power to someone else to give him the power or expand his powers, he could have just did that.
Well, the thing is, he didn't want to trick someone into doing that. It had to be Natalie who offered to do that in the first place, and even then, he still was very clearly mortified to even went down that path in the first place.
Woo! Rainbow Majesty. Forgot she's
I
rainbow.
lost it for 10 minutes. Yeah. Oh, did you? Okay. Well, again, I guess this is post shipwreck. So of course, during that time, she had her upgrade. Which, by the way, I've rewatched a lot of Super Pops, and I've got like into season 4 now, further than I got last time. And yeah, the Majesty upgrade happened like relatively quickly into season 1. They just got really bored of the
all white design. They're like, oh, this design's
very
boring.
quickly. Yeah, like more quick than I thought. My brain thought it was like a season 2 upgrade or something, but no, it wasn't. It was just like almost right away.
You know, that would have been a good season 1 finale upgrade, or like opening a season 2 upgrade. You didn't have to like go through it immediately. Dang.
Potentially, season 1. The season 1 like finale had like a lot of stuff that was going on. There was like the first like allusion to the Shadow King, but you know, besides that.
Oh, anyways. The Shadow King. Ooh.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I am surprised that more franchise creators, you know, Eli, Johnny, etc., haven't used the Shadow King more often.
I mean, is he like an intimidating villain? Like, how does he actually work? Is he a good villain?
Well, he's like there's like the creator and leader and the true leader of the bunglers. He will choose somebody to either possess or to enhance and like bring out like their evil side, like with Dr. Ruin.
Like a Hawkmoth.
Well, I mean, he doesn't akumatize them. He just like possesses them directly.
I give you the power to time travel so you can destroy those stupid super pops.
Yeah, if anything, he's more like akin to like almost like a one step away from being Xana. He doesn't like reduce their, he doesn't take over their minds completely. There's still like a bit of their original personality, but it's like recontextualized. Evilized, I guess, so if you want to be like that, but you know.
And evilize her.
Oh well. Anyways, yeah. Here you go, ladies.
Oh,
there.
That's it?
Now you should be able to breathe with ease.
There's no change. I was kind of hoping that there's more of a change, if I'm honest. Like, I was kind of...
Well, there's usually with Super Pops, there's like some sort of like light effect, and then they just like establish that, but this time we didn't even get that really.
Yeah, but I kind of wish there was like a kind of
like a Gacha effect, maybe.
You know, they should turn into mermaids when they jump in the water. You know, that would have been a good change, where it's like they all like go over to the water, turn into mermaids, and just dive in the water. Bam.
Yeah, in the past, like some pop groups have been like cursed to turn into mermaids, so maybe that's probably why Majesty didn't want to go down that path.
Well, it's a blessing in this case than a curse.
She could have used gillyweed. Good luck, and may destiny always be on your side.
Destiny wasn't on their side when they got kidnapped.
No, it was not. May always be on their side.
Oh my god. Okay, so instead of having Majesty come, hypothetically, writing-wise, what if you just said... Oh yeah, Majesty, before we left, gave us the ability to breathe underwater. How about you just did that instead?
Isn't that more of a tell and not show?
Yeah, but like, you had Majesty pop in to give them the power to breathe water in the most boring way possible, just to immediately leave. It's annoying.
That's what she said she was going to do.
Like, why could...
What I think really should have happened is that Majesty should have like tagged along with them this entire time.
Majesty,
because she has done that a lot in Totally TV, but so it's viable.
Well, isn't she like a god as well, objectively?
No, she's just a very like powerful immortal princess, not technically a goddess. we like to like amp up the levels of threat that she poses or could theoretically pose. Honestly, I reckon that I reckon that Anya from the from Quest of the Breathing Moon probably has more like actual power than
well, Anya.
Majesty.
To be fair, Anya is pretty scary potentially. Although Anya also has too many drawbacks, where it's like if she uses too much of her power, she gets tired. Which I imagine that would be an easy way to take her down. You pretty much have to just endure like a single like attack or a single like move from her. and then just watch the energy slowly sap from her body as she gets tired, and you could easily
Hello,
beat her.
Internet. Welcome to Game Theory. Today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. How to take down Anya from Quest of the Breathing Moon.
What? I mean, realistically, that's how you take her down.
Yeah, what I was getting at was that with all that power, it's kind of like this case like Superman. How a lot of people are afraid of Superman because of the threat that he could pose, but never would. That's what I was getting at. Same with Majesty as well. But yeah, within like the Gacha sphere particularly, they amp up a lot of the stuff that they really should have toned down the source material to begin with. So anyway, see you again sometime. Okay, I love that transition. I however do not like the fact that they're already in front of somebody and didn't have to like even swim to get there. Also, maybe they can breathe, but you know, those paper bags are getting very wet right now. Hi, sorry to interrupt. Which way is the way to the castle?
Okay, I gotta go.
I assume
but I mean, they should have became mermaids. You know, that would have been so fun. Anyways, I gotta go now. They might
still. They only just plunged in, but sure.
Bye.
That is the second stream in a row that Aiden has come in, has caused like a tangent, and then had to leave early, for the record. The first one being Starship yesterday on the Butter Bunch, in case anyone wants to check that one out. The website pretty good. Elemental. Hear me out. This episode where Sailor's is turned to a mermaid, where she can learn to work with water better. Potentially. I also had this other idea that I was originally going to do after Parody Pops that was called Mer Pops that I thought, or that I thought like because of the fact that there's so much like going on like in the underwater realm of the Super Pops world, that a group specifically designed to help out with all that stuff and like develop the territories under the sea would be kind of interesting. But yeah, that was a long way away. So yeah, if anyone wants to make Mer Pops, then I guess go right ahead. Just swim left at the big seaweed patch. I thought it was the name of the thing first of all. It's like, yes, big seaweed patch. No. At the big seaweed patch over the wrecked ruins, and you should find it. Okay, there we go. Thank you, mysteriously Caitlyn resembling mermaid. Okay, thank you. Alright, so now they swim. Alright. I always appreciate seeing keyframing, especially this early on. And a custom background too. I guess those kind of go hand in hand. If you've got a green screen anyway, I guess you might as well do some more movement. I suppose that works. I knew that Eli was waiting for some sort of like some sort of big musical cue, because that's what happened with Chelorium as well. We never saw much of a castle for Terratus actually, but I guess maybe they don't have one. They had a cottage apparently. Again, not every place has to have like a castle. Not every monarchy's the same. That makes sense. Bibbity bubbity bibbity burr. Now you can breathe underwater. Nothing's happening. They're possibly going to suffocate in the land like fish. You were saying? that is what we do to Majesty here. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now they have a reaction. With Sailorium, they were just like... But yeah, now they immediately, of course. And also, I do agree, this is a far better looking castle than the Sailorium one, which is kind of average in comparison. Castle forever. We still have more items to get though, including the coral sand. Man, he sure snapped her out of that fantasy. Get it? Snap pop. Anyway. Maybe we could have an episode with this episode where Hez learns a bird or pixie learn how to work with wind better. You could do one with where everyone gets transformed in order to like have some training montage Or possibly a double feature or something where you give everyone like individual time, so they're all under their separate. They went their separate ways for a moment to train and then return because they needed more powers to, I guess, face the ultimate bad guy or something. That could be like that, like the penultimate episode where they like gain new powers or new abilities before a final confrontation of some kind. After all, that's what we're here for. Let's swim in. Whee! Icon now just looks like they're just in sync, both in like the line that they were in before, but now also just keeping like equal distance with each other. Normally here I would keyframe them separately, but I understand that in order to save time, this worked as well. So the alternative I would have done was maybe like have them at a diagonal or something, and make sure that Winter Pop seemed like she was a little bit further down, so it looks like she's still leading. Possibly resize them as well, so it looks like Safari Pop is much larger and Winter Pop's much smaller, so you get like the perspective of that. Again, there are multiple options. Honestly, I feel like if I discovered this series a lot sooner, I would have applied a lot of different types of trickery. Because ultimately, I wouldn't use this method anymore now because I keep them individually. But it's something that would have definitely helped me back in the day. Halt! Who goes there? With the Blues Pops, what a journey to restore the Elegem. By the way, having an outer wall for this castle is useless because people can swim over the top of it very easily. That's why a lot of like ocean structures that you get in fantasy have like barriers, because you have to protect on like all fronts at the same time. And our next stop is here to collect the coral sand. Alright, you may pass. We need the coral sand. Hello, members of the coral sand, and that works. My goodness. Oh my goals, they just have to go to newer powers later down the line. If nature's plant powers, so could develop lightning powers, and Silica develop ice powers. I mean, that's also an option. That works too. I mean, essentially, it's kind of like what happened in Avatar. If you think about it, with like how like Toph invented metal bending. She was on her own when that happened. That was like after they split their separate ways, because like they got like different letters that they were following up. Anyway, what do you want with the last of our coral sand? Well, we kind of restore the Elegem. I guess the word hasn't traveled down to Aquavia just yet, which. I mean, I suppose that would also make a bit of sense because it would be hard to get a message to Aquavia than it would be to anywhere else, in the absence of a breathing spell casting Majesty to help you on with it. That kind of tracks. It would be pretty hard without it. Okay, don't sass the king. He's just protecting his, like, he doesn't know what's going on. Who are you, anyway? I just realized, I think there's like words in the top left corner there. Probably from wherever the background was sourced from. Oh well. We're the Blues Pops, we can even prove it to you. We already have 2 items. Oh yeah, I guess what Gump said in the previous episode actually kind of came true. They found one of the mermaids, they stayed their business, and they were allowed to pass, and now they're here again doing the same thing. I mean, ultimately, you can't say that was false advertising. It's exactly what seems to be happening here. Here's the feather. And here's the lyre. I mean, it's behind my skirt, I guess, but, you saw it briefly, I suppose. I don't know new powers. Wind in amongst like heads could develop. I thought maybe something like speed, because you control the wind around yourself to push yourself further. Yeah, that's a good example. Also, another example could be that it could be, I guess, like intangibility or something, like temporary intangibility, maybe. That's another option too. But speed works. Very well then, if you are who you say you are, come this way. This is the last of the coral sand. Right next to the oldest bubble that has never popped. Many years ago, this was the sand that coated the Aquavian ocean floor. If the entire Aquavian ocean floor, an ocean is the largest body of water that we have a name for. So, if it's all gone now, that's a lot of sand that's disappeared. When the yellow gem was stolen and its powers were hoarded, all the coral sand became an item. Okay. Except that portion, I guess, which was not included in the item creation process, that was automatically triggered by the stealing of the Elegem. But now, only this remains of the sand that was once plentiful. By the way, the Queen hasn't said a word yet. Enish has stayed for this act. This is what he thought was going to happen with the with Queen Gump, but I guess Queen doesn't even have a name yet. Is really suffering through that. Anyway, that's horrible. Oh, now she speaks. Okay, fine, sure. Speak now that I've brought that up. Now that most of it is gone, many species who lived in the sand are extinct. A group of people came and tried to take every last grain. It was a devastating day. How do you take every last grain of sand from the ocean floor? How big was this group of people? It was probably the Zodiacs for some reason, but, I mean, come on. Even then. We won't let anything bad happen to the coral sand. We'll protect it at all costs. And maybe once we restore the Elegem, all the coral sand will come back. Okay. That's what we hope. Only time will tell, I guess. Definitely have a pretty good mental my kind of fixation with something happened to start writing Animal Code Purple. That is very nice, and from what I've seen there, you're thinking all the right things as far as the creative process goes. So I'm very intrigued for the eventual debut of that. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to introduce ourselves because I didn't speak earlier. I'm Queen Despina. This is King Caspian. And we hope you can restore the Elegem. I was going to get a group to collect every grain of sand. Well, it's as BB said, every time you feel the grain of sand, you hear the grain of sand hears you. Or whatever that meant. Well, we can't do it without the coral sand. Don't mind if I just... I'm kidding. That is very true. We trust you to take good care of it and use it to restore the Elegem. May collect it now. Whoa. I'm standing right next to a person with the same set of powers on air, which is more impressive, but whoa. I like the way she put her hand out actually to receive it as well. Something bad has definitely happened to the coral sand. Watch about one of the blues while dropping the jar. That's what I thought of in my head. Immediately, we'll protect it at all costs. Oops. But no. There, safe and sound in my bag. It's not waterproof. Now you can get the dragon's fire when we get to Flamatis Winter. Yes, let the ice user collect the fire. That's a good strategy. Then we will have, they'll each have an item. And of course you left the one that's guarded by a big fierce dragon. Sorry, wait again. And of course you left the one that's guarded by a big fierce dragon. Oh, brother. That's the thing that Maddie actually says. There's one of her expressions. That's accuracy there. It's okay. We'll use our powers against it if we need to. And the fire sprites might help. Good luck on the rest of your journey. Do not lose any of the items. We're counting on you. We won't lose anything, we promise. Oh no, we lost everything! Wait, better get to the service before the spell wears off. The spell could wear off the whole time? Yeah, yes, get out of there immediately! Aren't you almost drowning a second time? Yeah, see you later. Yeah, bye! Alright, there they are. We've got the oh wait, no, it's not the return of the water physics. This is the first time that we've seen this water physics. And they even had like a bit of a bob on top of that. So you know what, I'll declare this again. Better water physics so far than Cookie Swirl C. Good done with the sound effects, but again, you know, that's like everything here, so yeah. I forgot what the powers of the Blues Pops even were. It was Winter Pop has ice, Snap Pop has water and levitation, Magic Pop has water and glitter, and Safari Pop has speak to animals and energy fields or something, or electricity. Forgot which one. And I remember that because they revealed those to Sky and Kalani in the Sailorium episode. I got seawater in my mouth. At least it wasn't pool water. I would argue that having been a child who has inhaled both of those things, I will definitely say that seawater is far worse, in my opinion, than pool water. At least as far as like the sensation goes. Chemically, maybe not the case, but like at least the sensation of it. Because oh my goodness. Have you ever felt dehydrated from excess of salt, but also having the knowledge that anything you put inside your body is coming right back out the same hole it was taken in from, and you know that's what's going to happen if you try to like eat or drink anything? Yeah, that's what salt water does to you. Anyway, the pool water gave me a stomachache. I'm surprised the hair didn't come loose and the hexes didn't float off. I mean, yeah, basically that's what would have happened in this situation, but I'm just grateful for the bob and the change of position too. Speaking of that, Jessica will be glad to know we only have 2 stops left. I'm guessing Jessica, they're using Majesty's like civilian name now, even though they're in pop form, and so is she. Yep, and nothing can stop us. Don't jinx it, Winter. Yeah, you're about to face a dragon. You don't want to jinx that. No. Okay, sorry. Hopefully nothing can stop us. That's not much better, but it's an improvement. Anyway, I think that's Flamatis over there. Shouldn't be too far to swim. Oh, good that the royal castles are nearby to each other, or like on the border. Normally they're in the center because historically most capital cities are in the center of locations or nearby them because communication-wise they need to be able to access any particular point of like their jurisdiction or whatever. So it's more advantageous to be positioned inside the center of them. That's why I think Rio used to be the capital of Brazil, like Rio de Janeiro, but they recently changed it to Brasilia, which is more in the center. I think that's why they did that, actually. So it's still true, even with internet and everything. Anyways, that was the Aquavia episode, and so that was Eli's favorite episode of the bunch, and the one that came after it. And yeah, I do think the Terratus episode was better. Is it better than Sailorium? I don't know, because Sailorium, they gave them more of a hard time, but it also wasn't too interesting in the way it did it. Like it had more of more of like a emphasis on like proving to them, because the king and queen, Forrest and Gump, were very on board from the beginning. However, at the very least, I think the reason Eli prefers the Terratus episode is because it has more stuff going on. It's not challenging for the Pops. It's a banquet in their honor, but it has the Greensleeves dance, which is, one of the early examples of Eli implementing that real-life passion of dance into the Pops, which would eventually, of course, become Ballet Pops in the future. So, it was put to good use. It is a very interesting setting. At the very least, like it's hard to make a forest interesting, like intrinsically, really, because I guess we've seen so many forests and so many different things. Like Pokemon kind of like desaturate that for this and for like our entire generations, all of us. But I guess the same is true for the ocean, where not too much different is done with it each time that you see it. Which is another reason I wanted to do Merpops, by the way, because I wanted to like explore more to do with the ocean itself, and like I guess some of the mysteries or phenomena that you have, or more unique settings. I want just do a full James Cameron essentially, and just go down that rabbit hole for have a long spin for James Cameron. But yeah, the Aquavia episode in comparison, again, mermaid bias aside, it was kind of I think that one probably is just very slightly weaker than Sailorium, because it doesn't have the super uniqueness to it. But it has like as a more beautiful like setting of a castle. But again, that's like one establishing shot. That's not really much to go on. And the king and queen obviously don't give them the same challenge that Sky and Kalani did. But yeah, Terratus, like I said before, had like the setting and the actual activity. So I guess it depends what you prefer. Does somebody prefer the challenge aspect and the trial things, the stakes of the story, or do they prefer to just like have a little bit of introduction to the different realms and to see what makes them unique and interesting? I guess it's ultimately a your opinion in this situation. You know what, actually, if you made it this far into the video, tell me in the comments what you prefer. Do you prefer the challenges and stakes, or the I was going to try and make a rhyme out of that, but I can't think of one. Challenges and stakes versus world building and details, whatever. Trials 1 can fail, or world building detail. Anyway, so that's what I think, and I'm guessing that Flamatis is going to be a combination of a lot of these things. They've built up Flamatis a lot more than any of the other places. I guess, like, depending on like how desolate it is, the fire sprites, the dragon. So we're gearing up to the finale of this, and I think that's going to be where most of the interesting stuff kind of comes to the forefront. So we're going to get probably the best of both worlds. Maybe even better than the Terratus episode if certain story writing cards were played correctly. But we'll find about that next time. Because that's the combat with Terratus. Okay, fair enough then. So so it seems like you agree with Eli in that regard. But yeah, what does everyone else's think? Leave the comments about that. And before you sign off, of course, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters, as I've done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.